June 1st, 2015. Day 2 is 24 kilometers from the end of Pickerel Lake to Russell Lake. We left our first campsite with sunny weather and a small breeze.
You're right. There is something in the water right there. I believe it's a beaver. Come on, Skye, let's go paddle and we'll get it up the hill. Yeah, I'm sure it's on the camera now. We'll catch the splash. There it goes! Good eye, Skye. Camera rolling and everything. Yeah. Alright, here we come up to the end of Pickerel River and our first portage of our trip. Beautiful day out today. Cool. It's going to be a high of 18 today. But it works out really good because first week of June, no bugs. We've seen a couple black flies, a couple mosquitoes, but nothing of any consequence. Portage can be really miserable when it's smoking hot out and your head is trapped under the canoe with about 1 million black flies and mosquitoes having lunch. And you're almost going to panic to get up the portage. This is nice. And there is Jerry and Jacob hopping out of the canoe. What are you trying to find? Oh, The dog is cramping Jacob's style and his legs. So we're gonna hop out, we're gonna unload, and I'll come out of the walk.
After paddling for about 45 minutes, we arrived at our first portage of the trip. It was 460 meters and took us from Pickerel Lake to Door Lake. The portage path was used so much that it looked like someone came along with a shovel and dug a trench the entire way. We did a double carry.
Is this Door? Door Lake. Jakob, Fletcher. Hey, Jacob. Door. Not Diori. Francais Door. I don't believe that's in French either. And hang on to your hats, please. I gotta edit that one. We'll do a smoother drop next. There's Jerry and Jacob in a beautiful sandy beach. I don't care what Jerry has to say. It's a beautiful sandy beach. So next portage, we're going to change it up just a little bit, myself and Skye. I'm going to carry her pack, which is around 20, 25 maybe. And she's going to carry the big 40-pound pack. And I'm going to do the canoe. Once again, here's Skye's back. We might have to rotate the camera angles once in a while. Yeah. This is Door Lake. So, Short Lake, we're going just... Let's see if I can use my finger to show you. We're going right there at the end of Door Lake. Easy peasy. I'm going to pass the camera up to Skye. She's going to put it and then you can hear you.
That's like a perfect shot right there.
Easy, Jacob.
No, because you're on the other side. But they'll work their way through.
Looking for the actual portage because the little outcropping that we saw was not a portage, just a rock outcrop. Somewhere along in here could be a nice landing spot for the trail, I hope.
Door Lake was a small lake, and it only took us about 20 minutes to cross. We then arrived at our second portage from Door Lake to Sturgeon Lake.
We might get wet feet. We're probably going to get some wet feet too. Ahoy hoy! Okay, start up the points. Skye's got the big sea line pack. I have Skye's pack on. See if we can make the portage through those Skye. Here comes Dad. Walking the old Trans-Canada Highway, eh, Skye? The old Dawson's Trail. And the Voyageur route. Over here, Skye's crossing. Looks like this gets pretty muddy sometimes, but we're lucky this year it's just a little wet. It's not what I'd call real muddy. Some old squared up beam, so. Lake through the trees here. So we are almost there. On the first carry of our double carry. This guy's doing an awesome job, just carrying the big gear pack. Look at that view. A little bit of mud on the trail, but not bad. Here's Jakob on his way back for his second carry. High five, Jake. Awesome. Wind is starting to pick up just a little bit. A little breeze. Just gonna put this thing down here, I think. That should be a nice spot to go off and back for a second run. First look. Beautiful. Alright, the .73 portage is done. We stopped at the end of the portage, had a nice lunch. This guy had some pepperoni, cheese, crackers, dried fruit, some coconut chunks. Right, Skye? Put on some sunscreen. Skye didn't want it on because she's afraid she looks like a snowman. Look at the camera, Skye. Can't see a thing. No snowman. Guy's being silly. So here we are on Pickerel River system, it's called. I'll turn the canoe so you can see Jerry and Jacob. The usual show of Fletcher getting in the canoe, arguing with Fletcher, pulling Fletcher. So we are going to be heading, let me just turn the canoe now more, so you guys can hear me okay. I might have to crank up the volume when I transfer this on the computer, because I know the GoPro camera, although waterproof, doesn't always have the best audio. So, rotating the canoe. There. We're going to be heading through that little opening right there into the Pickerel River system, which is going to take us down into the Sturgeon Lake. It was a nice portage. There was a couple little wet spots, but nothing of any consequence. This guy might have got a little bit of mud on her sandals, did you? On your grad shoes. So we'll have to clean up her grad shoes when we get home. She's got heart set on wearing these sandals to her graduation, even though she took them out on a 7-day Quetico paddle. Oh, okay. She decided yesterday that those were in fact her drive shoes. Maybe on the drive here you decided. On the drive here you decided. Yeah. So we have a headwind now. The wind is blowing directly from the direction we want to go. No biggie. We put on tons of miles already today. We're making awesome time. Local 12:30. No, local 11:30. Thunder Bay time 12:30. So we're lapping. Middle of the day, hottest part of the day. But you know what? We don't have a whole lot more to paddle today. I'm thinking maybe another. What do you think, Skye? Another 12 maybe, or maybe 2 hours? Yeah, 12 because we average about 6 kilometers. Not average. Well, I guess average we about 6 kilometers an hour, right? So that's not bad. I just want to take us around the corner here so we can go to the bottom of the rapids we just went portaged around. Noticing a real nice campsite right in front of us. Now looks like a beautiful campsite. So everywhere around Quetico, there's tons of campsites. None of them are marked, none of them are on maps. It's just kind of camp where you camp. But it just seems like everywhere we look, there's another beautiful campsite, another beautiful campsite. So I think that's awesome. Okay, I think that's about it. I'm going to shut off the camera, maybe see if we can get up this swamp. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get up it at all. I wanted to see this. I can hear the crashing of the water, but you know what? I bet you we're not going to be able to get to it. Okay, if we get to it, we'll turn the camera back on. Just on the Pickerel river system. Even one little, I don't want to call it a lake, wide part of the river through narrows into the next part of the river. And eventually we're going to sneak into Sturgeon. Such a beautiful area. Still the same river system, the Pickerel River. Just talking with the camera there, Skye. Just talking with the camera. No. Well, yes, you too. Just getting into a narrower part of it. Nice big beaver lodge here in the middle. Some beaver staked out a beautiful spot. I don't know how active this beaver lodge is right now. It's too fresh, but you never know when it's going to be active. Yeah, that's exactly. Whenever you see a beaver lodge, you know the water is clean to drink. No, that's not true. Anybody watching this, don't drink the water where there's beavers. You get the beaver, get sick. So, kind of cool, eh, Skye? Doesn't look too active though. So we're coming up on a beaver dam on the Pickerel. Figured we'd videotape our escapade getting over it. I think I see a shallow floating on that side. What do you think, Skye? It's a big drop. We'll have to get out. We don't want to bend the canoe yet. So we've gone over one that was already underwater. We did one that was just at the surface, so we were able just to power through it, canoe like crazy, and we skimmed over it. Now we have this one, and I'm seeing a drop. So, Skye's gonna get out, stand with it, inch us forward, and I'll get out and stand with it, and you may get a show.
Pickerel River was between the Portage and Sturgeon, and it was a windy river with 4 old beaver dams and a couple of beaver homes. 2 beaver dams were underwater. One we had to lift the canoe over, and the other was partially underwater, but they were able to canoe around it.
Okay, pull us up. Okay, Karma, stay. Here we are. Okay, hold it steady. I think we could have been. That would have been ugly. Ready? Let's go. Scraped a little bit on the sticks, that was about it. Uneventful. Beaver Dam number 3 was the eventful. Sturgeon Lake. Long paddle. Solid headwind. My dog sits still, Jerry's not so much. Making me nervous. Making Jacob scared. We got a pretty good headwind. I doubt you can even hear me on the camera, but I'll try. Pretty good headwind. This is going to require persistent paddling for the next 2 hours. But it's not a crosswind, so it should be okay. Hopefully next time I turn on the camera, it's not an underwater shot. But the camera is waterproof.
We then got to Sturgeon, and it was a shallow lake with lots of weeds and not too many campsites. We thought the wind wasn't too bad until we turned the corner onto the main part of the lake where it was no longer shallow. The wind was howling, it was a headwind, and there were small whitecaps. I didn't enjoy this part as much because of the choppy weather. It felt like a game of paintball. We were going from one small island to another, hiding from the wind. It cut our speed right in half. We went from 6 kilometers an hour to 3 kilometers an hour. When we finally made it to the end of the Sturgeon, we turned right, then left, and ended up the bottom of some rapids.
Consequently, sore bums. Skye's resting her bum. Right, Skye? So we exit off the end of Sturgeon off to the right here, left, off to the right here, and then we make a left through. Let's see here. We're gonna go through a little river. There's a potential for a portage. We made his line up, and then we go into Russell. So it should be interesting. And I think we're going upstream, so that's going to make it a little bit easier for the lining. Otherwise, I guess we could have just ran it.
I was busy pointing out the rapids until it took the nose of our canoe and pushed us sideways really fast, almost tipping our canoe. We were able to paddle most of the rapids, but because we were going up them, we had to stop and get out and line the canoe. Surprisingly, our canoe and Jerry and Jacob's canoe made it out perfectly, and we continued on to Russell Lake. was also windy on Russell, but not nearly as windy as Sturgeon. We saw a moose in the water and we passed by. It was exciting to see. We eventually found a camp not too far from the next day's portage and set up there. It was still very windy. We had macaroni, cheese, corn, and tuna dinner, and Jerry and Jacob had smokies. After eating, I decided to go fishing. I sat down on a rock and let out my first cast. It surprised me that a fish bit on my first bite. I almost never catch anything while fishing from the shore. It was a big bass. While I was waiting for my dad to get the camera, I left on the hook because I didn't have pliers, because I never catch anything from shore. The fish then got away, so I cast it a couple of more times before heading back to the fire. Me, my dad, Jacob, and Jerry were all sitting around the fire when my dad said to remember that tree on the edge of the rock by itself, about 4 feet tall, because when me and Jacob come back when we're older, to check out the tree and see how it's changed. That ended our wonderful day and got us thinking about what awesome things might happen tomorrow.
Okay, morning of day 3, right? Tuesday morning. Russell Lake. We've been listening to Chatterton Falls in the background since we got here. We're at the edge of Russell Lake, getting ready to portage out of here. We had a good night, right, Jacob? Good night. Few little tiny drizzly raindrops this morning. Nice overcast day today. We got too much sun yesterday, right, Skye? Too much sun. Red hands. So today, cross Chatterton Falls portage through Shelley, a bunch of other lakes. Can't remember what their name. Anyway, the goal tonight is Quetico. So about another, same as yesterday, 24 kilometers. I think we have 4 portages